Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
If you've been hurt in a road accident that wasn't your fault, you should really talk to G4 Claims first. Unlike road accident solicitors, we don't charge you for our services, which could see you better off. To keep 100% of your compensation, have a chat with Nicole and the team. You'll be glad you did. Search online for G4 Claims.
Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sellik, the Thunder, episode 116. We've got a full house with old faces. There's no new faces, these are all old faces, but one in particularly old face in the middle. I'm not talking about your age.
Yeah, I'm the oldest here.
You're the oldest.
Thanks for rubbing that in. Yeah, I'm 27 next week. Thanks very much.
Next week?
Yeah, 27 next week.
God, halfway to your grave, man. If your life expectancy is anything like mine, no.
Fair enough.
Well,
Fair enough.
there. Anyway,
What a start. What a morbid start, man.
welcome back, McGinlay.
Cheers. For now.
As you'll notice, Ryan McGinlay is in fact back. He's there in the middle of the couch. You did promise at the end of last season, upon your farewell, that you would be back for the odd episode here and there, which includes today's show. So, how you doing? Fill in the viewers who've been asking about you.
Things are really good, yeah. I've really missed being on the show, to be honest. It was I know we're doing this on a Wednesday night, but I was so used to going on a Thursday and doing the show every week, or as many weeks as we could or can. Yeah, I'm just delighted to be back, even if it is just like a one-off for now, just to sample it again, be part of the new season, talk about things that have happened so far, and I'm delighted to be back, aye.
Well, it's not the first and it's not the last. I'll probably be back on at some point. There's plenty of derbies to go round, so
We've got ourselves a Glory Hunter podcast coming on for the big games.
Ones, aye.
No, it's good to have you back on, Ryan. On that note, very quickly, McGinley's replacement should be announced very, very soon. The aim was to have them on for next week, so we've not informed our choice yet who it is. Don't even know if we've actually made a choice yet. We're still mulling over the options.
But I mean, we've got the international break after this game, so
right.
we've got time to go away and do our homework and
analyse.
I've just got this video of yous, like, you know, in the X Factor when they choose and boot.
we've got pictures.
You've got all the maybe it's the accounts or something. I don't know, but that's what's in my head anyway.
It's just a screenshot of the Twitter handles, isn't it?
You've missed it. Calum was doing his best. Sharon Osborne had the wig on and everything.
Wow,
Still going on it.
25.
So hopefully we have the replacement soon. If you have applied and you've wondered why we've not got back to you yet, don't worry. It's because we've not made our decision. So yeah, and this will hopefully be back to Thursdays and such soon as well. Anyway, on that note, very quickly, I'll dance over the other two people with us this evening. The usuals, Kieran, Auld, over on the right-hand side. How you doing?
I know, bad. See, because we're doing these like every week now, I feel I've got genuinely nothing to talk about in between. Usually we had like a few week gap, like, oh, I've done this, done that. Sweet fuck all.
SFA, simple as that. I mean, surely you've got a wee bit to look forward to with the weekend. Are you excited?
I know, I'm looking forward to that, to be fair. At least we've got something to properly look forward to this week.
Maybe by the end of the international break you'll have something to tell us.
Maybe.
Just maybe. And on the other side of the couch we have Calum. Calum, you're the same as Kieran. Have you got anything to update us on?
Oh, no, just walking away and stressing towards Saturday, but we'll leave that for it to deal with itself.
I know. There's got a big weekend ahead of us. But I think what we should address actually kick off the show is the viral TikTok sensation. 1.1 million views.
9,500 likes. Like the algorithm is finding people, but it's far for the right people, man.
The reason I wanted to address this at the top of the show, and I know McGinley, you're probably sitting there going, what the fuck have I
I've been keeping up to date with it.
Right, but this is so annoying because somebody did publish something to us and you buying likes. I trust me, if I had the money to buy likes on TikTok, it wouldn't be going to buying likes on TikTok. I would be buying myself nice things. I don't know what's happening, but we seem to have found a glitch with the system, and every TikTok that I post seems to get at least like 200,000 views. strange.
I genuinely don't know what demographic it's targeting, but
No,
because
there they are.
like
There they are.
sometimes the comments are like, why the fuck is this on my For You page?
I know. It's bizarre. So once again, if I wanted to buy views, I'd probably date my YouTube channel where I can actually, make money. Also, the account would have been banned from TikTok by now if we were buying views. So we're not buying views. We just don't know what's
I
happening.
mean, if you want us to make money off it, go and
Follow.
follow it so it gets over the 10k.
We want to make bank. Please do so. Anyway, we've got a lot to cover because this is one of the biggest episodes I feel like we've done in a long time. We have a derby coming up on Sunday. We have a deadline day, which comes on Friday. And tomorrow we have a Champions League draw. Quite frankly, we do not have enough time to cover all three things in the depth I would like to. Because I'm away to Berlin tomorrow and I need to get this edited rapido. But we'll start off with the transfer window because deadline day is looming. And McGinlay, because you're here for today and you've not spoke to us about the transfer window, I'd just like to kick things off saying, with a couple of days to go, what have you made of it and how are you feeling going into the deadline?
I'm in two camps here, to be honest, because I think that the transfers that Celtic have made thus far have been targeted and in areas in which Celtic needed improvements, like in goalkeeping position. They've now got depth with Sanisalo and of course Kasper Schmeichel, who already looks like an upgrade on Joe Hart, I would say, especially with his distribution. We've not really seen him make any saves competitively, but I'm sure that'll come, maybe even come at the weekend. Hopefully not, but if he's called into action, you would expect him to do the business. You get Adamida and Paulo Bernardo back, which is absolutely brilliant. Maybe perhaps overspent a tad on Adamida, but you saved that money on Paulo Bernardo, so I think it worked out fine. Good to see Alex Baye. I think it's Baye that you pronounce it.
I've been
Baye,
trying to work
Baye.
this out myself, but V's or B's in Spanish, aren't
Yeah.
they? So.
And then the two L's are the Y. So it's good to see that guy coming into the team. Was announced this morning after I'd done some recording, so that was a good sort of pick me up after recording. And yeah, it's all systems go really. All engines go for the rest of the window. It seems to be a moving, an ever-changing dynamic at the moment here. There's players being linked, there's players not being linked all of a sudden. It might have even changed by the time we finish this podcast. Yep. By the time we're doing this podcast, midway things can change. But it looks as if Celtic are going to get their main target, and it's got to be Arne Engels that's their main target. They're going to smash their transfer fee. They might even smash the Scottish transfer fee.
Yep.
If they get anywhere near Tory Andre Flo's 12 million. So yeah, that's the one that I'm really excited for. They need other signings apart from Arne Engels, but that's the main one for me. If they sign him for 10, 11, 12 million, then I don't think anybody will be complaining because he's got so much upside to his game.
No, I think you're nailing the head stuff with Arne Engels, Ryan. We know that Celtic are looking for him, Calum. We've heard reports that the first bid, £6.5 million, was rejected. We've then heard that they've went back in with an offer of, I think, was it £9 or £10 million? Augsburg reportedly want between 10 and 11. The manager says he expects him to be there on Sunday. It's all going to be tedious, nerve-wracking, all the rest of it. What are you thinking about Arne and the situation?
Again, I think I'm not exactly saying it's exactly like Adamida, but it's a case of if they've said their fee, just give them the money, get it over the line, especially obviously with Sunday in mind. And then also if their manager saying he's expecting them to be there on Sunday, a bit like, no, really, mate. Aye.
Roger said the same about Matt O'Reilly.
It's just a very media-trained comment to make, isn't it?
100%.
I mean, I think sometimes, Kieran, people would go, just giving them the money is a mistake, but there's very little time left now. Celtic can't arse about.
I don't think we're in a position to be picky this day. If we fannied about this long in the transfer window, I think now's the time to just start paying the asking price for players. I understand, like, I get the point of view of people saying, teams are just going to rip us off and that. Aye. But if we're the ones that have sort of pussyfooted about in this transfer window, we've shot ourselves in the foot when it comes to it. So we need to compensate that financially now to try and make up for it. But it's just, with the transfer window, I feel like it's been a lot of, I mean, in the past week, the amount of links and players, and it's went through the roof, but it had to. So you kind of wish that this could have been done earlier in the window. I understand certain players don't become available until like later on in the transfer window, but it's been a frustrating one. But hopefully how long will be left now until the...
So it's Friday 11 p.m. So we're talking 51 hours left.
Very very small window of time to try and put things right, because this could have been a far greater transfer window, but now we've got time to salvage it. So pay the money.
I mean, at the end of the day, lads, I mean, the floor's open to comment. £25 million just landed in the bank that wasn't there a week ago. So this 25 million, in my opinion, I'll just go walk my way along the couch, I suppose, Cam. This 25 million should just be simply reinvested, surely. I mean, this 25 million doesn't make or break anything about the club's financial standing. The reports are going to be published in September. This 25 million doesn't do anything. It should be reinvested in the squad. Engels being 10 million of that, that's not even half the money.
No, 100%. It has to be invested in. Most of the fact when you've lost a player like Matt O'Reilly, it has to be replaced. It's not as if it's just you can standardly go and pick another player out to replace him. It's the impact that he's made that needs to be replaced.
Ryan, I mean, you've been doing it every single day, like I have.
Very much so.
And you know the pain of Celtic not spending, and you know the ups and downs and the comments on both sides. But I think that I'm assuming that you lean towards the side we've been on in the podcast and saying that, you know, Celtic, to be more serious, need to just spend this money.
They need to do what Brendan Rodgers said a couple of weeks ago in his press conference, and take risks in the transfer window and part with more cash at the first instance, rather than, you know, do maybe 1.52 million, because he was talking about, yes, those players can become £25 million players. Matt O'Reilly was an incredible example, great scouting, you know, a bit of luck as well with the whole Riley McGree that fell through. Matt O'Reilly was the second choice. Amazing to even think that he was second choice, looking at the level of which he's at. Fingers crossed he has a speedy recovery from that tackle the other night, which was an absolutely disgraceful tackle, if you ask me. You know, I hope that both Brighton and Celtic have binned the receipts for that. You know, my heart's kind of set on Engels now, so I want Celtic to be getting a signing very, very soon. They need two players to replace Matt O'Reilly, in my opinion. I know that the talk with Bogarts at the moment is that Celtic have pulled out of any negotiations, or the negotiations have stalled. Who's the next target then? Because Brendan Rodgers has talked about needing two midfielders. It's got to be Engels and somebody else. Does that mean Alvin Sanchez then the second choice? Yeah. Just because they're the second choice doesn't mean they're a lesser choice. That mean they showed that with the player that they're trying to replace in O'Reilly. So yeah, it's with a couple of days left to go, they've got a real chance of being able to salvage this window and really make it a good window. It's been bad timing, but that's only one half of it. If you look at the individuals that have been brought in, you know, you've got Bernardo, you've got Ida back. You know, I've named them all before, but if you can get Engels in, which would be a real statement of intent, a couple more, a centre back, you've got Bailly in as well. It could be a really, really good window, and it's all about Celtic capitalising on the good feeling that's at the club on the pitch at the moment. They can easily make it such a feel good factor, and all-encompassing feel good factor with some of the signings they can make in the next 2 days. I think everybody's on the Brendan Rodgers boat now at this point in time. Everybody's on that boat. Now we need to back him and give him the players required to really take the next steps forward, which would be in Europe, you would say.
We should probably touch on Mateusz Bogus. Kieran, McGinlay did kind of touch on it there, but just before we came in, the news broke that Celtic have apparently retracted themselves from the negotiations for the player. The deal has hit a dead end. They've now shifted their focus to Arne Engels, but the Bogus will not be the second option. We were hearing that £8 million was the last sort of number thrown out there, and maybe it's just not enough for LAFC to part with him. Obviously, they're midway through the season. Is it a disappointment to you? What are we thinking with that?
I mean, it is a disappointment, especially because I think a lot of fans seen that as maybe the certain one that was going to happen compared to Engels. Like, they were thinking, out of the two, I reckon we'll probably get him over like somebody that's playing consistently in the Bundesliga. But that you've seen, he's been called up to the Poland national team as well for the first time. I don't think that will have any bearing. I think he would still get called up if he came to Celtic and that. But I mean, if we're unwilling to part with the cash, that's a wee bit disappointing. But you were seeing all this stuff about they were wanting to play him in the Leagues Cup final, I seen something saying he'd flown to their next game as well with the team, so that in itself was a bad sign when that was announced late last night, early this morning. So that should have been an instant red flag. But as McGinlay said, it's all about now identifying with 50 odd hours left of the window who is going to be the person that's actually going to come in to assist. But you're at the point now. Are we going to be saying welcome to Celtic, Luke McCowan?
That's what I was going to say. Peter Lawwell knows a guy. He knows a guy. He's available. He's £1 million.
I'm getting Aaron Moy vibes. I feel like we're going to dig up somebody that's just not been mentioned at all.
James
in this
McCarthy.
Aye, you know, I just feel
Paul Pogba.
like, oh god, how long's he banned for? In the next
Don't know.
Like 3 years or something.
Is it 3 years?
Was-
He's finished, isn't he?
It's done. I mean, I could just see us pulling up somebody for like Ander Herrera for Bilbao or something. I can just see somebody's
He
name.
was playing quite well for them.
No, I know. He was just the first old midfielder I could think of that came in my head.
We'll be
It's not
bringing him
gonna
here
be
against you as well.
Ryan Fitzsimons says you have to come up the road, pal. It's going to be a weird one in the last couple of days to see who we identify, but it'll be interesting. I think the main thing is we'll come on to talking about Alex Valley in a moment, but the next podcast, Calum and Kieran, anyway, is going to be really fascinating. Are we going to be happy? Are we going to be disappointed? Are they going to get... We're hearing about Trusty, we're hearing about Arnie Engels, we're hearing about, you know, all these players being linked with us, but you never can say all of them. None of them might come. So Calum, I mean, the mood could change so quickly, and you'd hope, considering there's a derby coming up, that Peter Lawwell, Michael Nicholson and the rest of them would all know how important morale is at the minute.
100%. I think it has been since he was called an arsehole. In the game the other day, it seems as if he took that quite personally and thought, right, do you know what? Just go out and chuck a bit of cash about winter then. But no, it's more so just touch special with morale when you're going into a game like this. The first derby of the season, it's always important to sort of make that a marker and go out and get the result. You can only sort of hope you've got the team in the best mindset possible going into that. So I'd like to think we'd hopefully be in a better position next time we record.
At least we've got a left back. We've not even touched on that. They're that comfy.
Took us 2 years.
Aye.
Got one eventually.
Listen, I'm excited.
So am I.
I think it'll be good.
So I feel like we were saying that for the full window. Where are the left back links, and then came right out the blue.
It was Sunday night at about 7-8 o'clock because I actually went back online after the St Mirren game to put up a story because, you know, it's a left back. We're quite excited about bringing in a left back. The situation with Taylor's quite perplexing, to be honest, because he's not signed a new deal. I don't know if Celtic are looking to return to the negotiation table for a new deal for Taylor. So is this like one to potentially like make permanent down the line? If he's good enough, in my opinion, I think they should make it permanent in January. If that £3 million or the
Just
€3
about seeing how
million
he is, isn't it? But
yeah,
Has he got a release clause then?
Yeah, so
every
3
Spanish player has.
So
a release
essentially,
clause inserted
he
in their
had a
contract.
release clause of 30 million before he signed this extension, and his contract was up at the end of the year. But Barcelona have extended his contract by 2 years, I believe, and the new release clause is now €3 million, down for 30. So Celtic have a chance, but obviously, if he plays well, there's going to be other clubs floating around it now. So hopefully there's like a gentleman's agreement.
That's what I'm hoping for, that there's a first refusal on the player. There's got to be.
Imagine he was just a scumbag.
I know.
He lied to us and then he ends up at Leicester. Who would do that? Who would do such a thing?
I know.
But anyway, 3 million, hopefully Ryan, in the next 6 months we see him play pretty well.
Looking at that Falkirk game, I'm kind of sort of earmarking that Falkirk game has been his debut. If he's a couple of goals up against Rangers, by all means, bring him on, let him feel the atmosphere. If Engels is through the door, I want him to be coming off the bench if Celtic are 2 or 3 nothing up in the game. Think about the ovation he'll get, because he'll be the record transfer if it goes through. You'll feel the buzz of the crowd if he comes onto the pitch. But I think it's such a good opportunity to bring these players in, especially if all goes well and Celtic do win the derby, or they are in a winning position in the derby. Blood these players in, give them that taste of it, and they'll be better prepared for when it comes at the end of the year as well. I hope that we're in that predicament, that we're thinking about what players are going to make their debut on Sunday, rather than maybe only be maybe 1 or 2 players. Yeah. Hopefully there's a bit of a barrel load of players that can make that step.
I've got to ask a question. I'll start with you, Calum. What do you make of the criticism that Celtic are getting? A lot of people unhappy about Alex Valley. because he's a young guy and unproven and he was playing in the second division in Spain. What's your thoughts about all of that? Because I've been pretty honest in my channel and saying, like, the boys in the Barcelona academy, and if you get to 20, my exact words were, if you're not good enough for Barcelona, you're cut long before the age of 20. You're cut before then. But he's made it all this way. There's got to be a player in there. But some people just seem like they can't be pleased.
There's always, like, no matter who we sign, you know, we could have signed Messi and somebody that's still great. You're paying too much wages. There's always something that somebody will complain about, no matter who you're signing. And from what obviously you can gather online, a lot of obviously Barcelona fans, fan pages, whatnot, they all seem quite angry that he's even been let go out on loan. So you can only take that as a good thing. Obviously, again, not as if I'm going to sit here and say I watch the second league over in Spain, but all the reports have been good, and more than glad that he's keeping us.
I feel like that just happens all the time, Kieran. You know, it's like we don't know any player unless it's a Joe Hart or a Casper Schmeichel. We've never seen them play. So, like, what's the point in getting all worked up about it, really?
If Celtic signed him for $3 million this window, people would be saying he was a project player for Barcelona. So it's just, it is all about the pedigree. As you said, you don't make it that far in the Barcelona academy if you're gumph. But I mean, you don't know how he's going to adapt to the league and that, but it's also a good thing that we're getting him on loan to see beforehand. And I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I don't know if it's just because we were completely devoid of any rumours about our left back and I'm jumping in two-footed on the first one that comes through the door, but all the signs point to the fact that it could be a good acquisition for Celtic, and we've got hopefully the option down the line, obviously not an agreed option, but to maybe make that permanent with a release clause.
Exactly. I think all the clips are coming out the day of him playing in pre-season against, what was it, Real Madrid. He looked comfortable. I mean, it's a friendly, right? But it's, you know, he looks handy.
That was him playing at right back as well.
Exactly that position, wasn't it?
That shows that he can play inverted as well. So he can play that position at left back and then come into the pitch, which is really, really good. That'll suit, because Taylor, I think one of the best facets of this season so far has been Greg Taylor's ability to come inside and really be in the midfield and overflow the midfield, because it's allowed Calum McGregor to go further forward as well, because he covers for him whilst the captain goes forward. It's a good position now. It's got strength. Bailly can just develop in the background and then wait for his moment. Taylor's still first pick. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But Bailly can come in at any point and make an impact.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see. Hopefully we get a glimpse from on Sunday if there's the right moment to bring him on the park. Do you know what the annoying thing is? I've just realised about this podcast, because I've left the thing.
I was genuinely to say I don't know if
no idea. Does anybody have a clue when we started recording? I have not a Scooby.
I want to say like 25 minutes ago.
Right, okay. 25. Well, that's let's finish off the transfer segment with the question we ask every week, and we always get it in the Q&A, but I'll ask it now to get out the way. What would leave you happy? I'll go one at a time. I'll start with Kieran. Window, 11 p.m. Boom, slam shut. What's going to leave you happy at 11 on Friday?
You would need... I think it's kind of thrown at my perspective out a wee bit after the day because of the bogus thing seemingly coming to an end, because it seemed like he was going to be able to cover different positions as well. He had that ability. But now we're talking about having to replace another midfielder, but also do you then need to get somebody else on top of that? You need the centre-half coming in through the door, left-footed, left-sided centre-half, which hopefully we can get in Trusty. But because, I mean, we got a bid rejected, didn't we? And then, so we've went back in. So I want him through the door, Engels. Another centre-mid of quality. No offence to Luke McGowan if you're watching, but I think if we were meant to be signing somebody for £8 million and then we dropped immediately down to 1, that seems like the lazy option. But 2 quality centre mids, probably somebody else to maybe cover a bit more. Don't know if I would go as far as say an out-and-out winger, but somebody that can, attacking wise, help it. And then I think that's it.
McGinlay, what would leave you happy come 11?
Well, because Bailly's been announced, another 3 would make me happy. I wanted 4 at the sort of start of the week. We've got one of them, hopefully 2 with Engels. Trusty would be 3. I don't understand this negativity towards Trusty at all.
Don't
everybody was bad in that Sheffield United side. They're just tarring every player with the one brush.
Us 3 spoke about it last week. I mean, he got that move to Arsenal. He's obviously got the talent in there, and what annoys me is the amount of players, the amount of examples we have at Celtic of players who had a failed move and they've come here and they've recovered their career, and what, we can't do that with Trusty? I just don't get it.
Two big things for me are that, first of all, the manager will improve the player because he improves every player that he works with. Even look at Hatate, who was a bit of a tough sell for Hatate to get better under Brendan Rodgers. He didn't have the best start to life under Brendan Rodgers, but look at him now, arguably being one of Celtic's best players. He was Celtic's best player against St Mirren at the weekend. And number two, Cameron Carter-Vickers improves every player that he plays alongside as well.
I think that's the biggest part for me.
The two are the same nationality as well. I don't know if they've played in the same team, but even being in the same squad will help.
They fight for the same spot.
I have
many
been sent
caps
a
is-
graphic of them with
What are you saying?
Many caps is that Trusty got?
two.
So,
I think it's one or two. He's not got many.
There's a one or two. Oh, well, there you go.
Uh,
I want Trusty, and I don't. I've already said in my channel a million times. I'm willing to put the money on it. It'll be quality.
One thing I just want to quickly say is that I think that the club have actually done quite a good job of getting rid of all the deadwood in the squad as well. It's taken longer than I thought it would, but at least they're getting off that wage bill, and that could maybe form some pathways to getting players in, maybe late on. You never know. But seeing the likes of Kobayashi, I know Lagerbielke's only going on loan, but even getting him away, Mikey Johnson as well, who wasn't going to make an impact. I think he's got to pick 3 clubs at the moment. He knows he's leaving, but he needs to pick what club he's going to, because they've accepted 3 offers. At least that was the latest. So seeing all that deadwood going is good. And that should maybe free up some funds or free up some wage space for players.
Calum, what are you thinking?
Yeah, pretty much just echoing the exact same as Kieran and Ryan have said there. I was just happy with the 3, if that's what it is to then be. Obviously another centre mid would be nice, provided we don't do, as Kieran said, drop him from that 8 million down to 1 million, because that just then feels like it's what was the point in that? It's like FM, you just spend the money before it gets taken off you. As you said, nothing against like McGowan. Look, from what I've seen, does look like a good wee player, but you know what you want when we're looking at like Bogus.
Yeah.
Like, it's different levels altogether there.
I agree. I think for me, if Bogus has fell, and it looks like it, I think I would rather we put our focuses into identifying who it's going to be in January rather than rushing to get one done. I know it means we're going to go through 6 European games a man late for where we'd like to be, but I think I'd like the club to maybe just look at Matt O'Reilly joined in January, you know what I'm saying? I would like them to, Rio Hatate joined in January, I'd like them to maybe go, right, that's the player we want, we'll get in early in January and we'll get them, and that would leave us in a good position. But yeah, I'm the same. I think if we can get Trusty and Engels through, especially, I'd be very, very happy with how it's ended. And I guess the next time we're on, we can talk about it in general and see how the windows went. But that's that for the transfer portion of the show, which means it's time for the half-time quiz, which today is it you, McGinlay? Is it? Who is it?
I've got a quiz of some sort. Who am I quiz?
That's half-time. Who am I? Who am I, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be hosted by the returning Ryan McGinlay. Ryan, take it away.
Who am I?
So
how we doing this? I'm so who's
You get that? You went like that. Who am I?
hear you, mate.
That is mad.
So who's playing?
So is he giving
us?
us? Is he giving us 3 different? Is it why the ones?
It's
who am
two
I
players. Two players here.
Is who am I the one?
I don't mind.
Oh no, it's not. It's the one.
I'm done.
I don't mind.
It's the one. I thought there was 2 players, but it's just one.
And it's the one with the
just 'cause
clues.
it's got answers, yeah.
Right.
So-
Okay. God, right. He's sat again, so we can do a clean TikTok here. Halftime quiz. Who am I? Hosted by Ryan McGinlay.
Yes, this is definitely not the second take of this. So, who's playing? Ryan, you playing?
I guess.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So, clue number 1: I have been managed by Neil Lennon, Ronald Koeman, and Thierry Henry.
Oh, that's interesting. Because Ronald Koeman's a few clubs, isn't he?
I think I would have got this after the first
Really?
one. Aye.
After the first one?
I'm not going to say
I
anything.
believe everybody's getting answered this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a good reader, you know.
Thierry Henry.
Nah, fucking.
Who's he managed so far? Who was the second? Koeman,
Lennon,
And
and
Lennon.
Henry.
I'm no gambling. I'll go to the next one.
I'll go next.
I'll go next.
Okay. I have played with Virgil van Dijk, Fernando Llorente, and Philippe Clement. Didn't know that last one. Wow.
I have a nationality in mind, but
So-
wow.
Can you run through 3 players again? Sorry.
Virgil van Dijk, Fernando Llorente, and Philippe Clement.
Just call him Clement. Doesn't he deserve the come on this show?
I think if you don't get it with 2, you might get it for number 3.
I'm not going to hazard, I guess.
Nah.
Don't like Hammer either.
Clue number 3 of 5. I signed for less than 1 million for Celtic.
Oh no. Oh, is it worth a guess? I don't think he did. I'm going to take my stab in the dark.
Okay.
Is it Dedrick Boyata?
Nope.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking because of Belgium.
Aye.
So I mean,
See, when did Clement retire? But because in my head, he cannot have played.
So I'll go through the clues again.
Oh, after I've gave my fucking guess.
I have been managed by Neil Lennon, Ronald Koeman, and Thierry Henry. Number 2. I have played with Virgil van Dijk, Fernando Llorente, and Philippe Clement. Number 3. I signed for less than 1 million for Celtic.
I'm frozen at the next set, ain't I?
Yeah, I was thinking didn't same as you because of Belgium.
Aye. Now that I think about it, I couldn't. Boyata's not been managed by Koeman, surely, so it was a bit of a stupid guess for me, really. I think he's been managed by Koeman.
Are we working together here or just?
No, it's against each
So
other.
number 4.
It's used to, up to used to.
I know, keep going.
Aye.
Whilst I play currently in black and blue for my club team, I also had a brother who played for another famous team in those colours in Italy. Wow.
I don't.
Oh,
What was the brother thing there?
I had another.
think I know.
Plays in black and blue currently. He also had a brother who played for another famous team in those colours in Italy.
Jordan Lukaku.
Calum's got a look in his face.
I know, but it's just because of why he's going to do it. I'd have then also just guessed another Belgian, but
Now you're allowed to go into the 5th clue here. You can take advantage.
I know.
Even Kieran's
Oh,
froze out. He's went for somebody that didn't even play a fucking game for Sellik.
not as fun as that, is it? Fuck it, just throw in it. Volleyball and golly.
No.
Oh, is it no?
Didn't think it was,
I
but-
thought you go that.
Had to throw a
So
guess.
we're all back in on clue 5 then.
Right, photo finish here,
Oh,
by the way.
God. Right, okay.
Made it fun. There's no point in saying I'm going to the last one.
Right, so do
Make
you want
it
me to read
What a
through?
humble man,
Do you want me to
by the
read?
way.
Do you want me to read through all the?
Aye, run through them all. Aye.
Okay.
Because it'll be a photo finish. Whoever can get this first, I'll need to see. Number 1, I've been managed by Neil Lennon, Ronald Koeman, and Thierry Henry. Number 2, I have played with Virgil van Dijk, Fernando Llorente, and Philippe Clement. Number 3, I signed for less than 1 million for Celtic. Number 4, whilst I currently play in black and blue for my club team, I also had a brother who played for another famous team in those colours, black and blue, in Italy. I'll add my own clue here. He's not Belgian.
I
that's
don't know why we
alright,
did continue
aye.
going down
Okay,
that route.
I think you went down that road
Aye.
and you were thinking too much. Whoever gets it first. Question number 5. I scored in that game versus Barcelona.
Victor Wanyama.
Yep.
That's the guy with Tony.
You don't know
Watt, was it?
Mariga Wanyama played for
Who?
Inter Milan.
Could not
His
have picked
brother?
that.
I had no idea.
I
he
think
had a
McDonald
brother.
Montreal
Mariga.
colours.
That's his brother. I remember that when he signed.
You're a Wikipedia merchant.
No.
That's how you know that. Nobody normal knows that.
So, thank you. Won't be back.
Aye,
So, I am Victor Wanyama. No, you're not. You're Ryan McGinlay. Number 1, Lennon at Celtic, Koeman at Southampton, Henry at Montreal. He was in a couple of years ago.
forgot all about him. Than that, I was just went straight to
Wow.
Belgium with Martinez.
That's why I was thinking Belgium.
EVD at Southampton, Llorente at Spurs, and Clement at Beerschot, who they signed him from. It was a 900k reported fee in 2011. Number 4, remember the name, McDonald Mariga, who was his brother, who played for Inter Milan. Number 5, no explanation needed.
Now that see, now you say, then it's actually ringing a bell now. I remember hearing they had a brother that played for Inter. That's ringing.
Fleeting appearances, like he was one of those squad players, but
it's ringing a bell now. Well done for the hosting duties, and well done to me.
Always a self-praise.
Nobody else is going to say it, innit?
Well, if he says well done, Ryan, he could be talking about himself as well. It's just
that was good. Half-time quiz, right? We have a derby this weekend. It almost feels like that.
Do we? It doesn't feel like
doesn't
it
feel
at
like.
all.
Kieran, is this the least derby you've ever seen? Maybe.
Quite possibly, to be honest, because I feel like I've seen a wee bit of like build up and a bit of buzz generated on Twitter a wee bit, but I feel like because we've went for the derbies at the end of last season with the magnitude they were being played at, and we were on this podcast billing it up as the biggest one in years between us, so I think it's maybe a bit of a come down for that, and it's probably reflecting on this game, but it's still going to be the exact same. As soon as that first whistle goes, it's going to feel like any other, so I'm looking forward to it. It's a weird one because last season there was a couple of going into Macedon. You were thinking, oh God, we're not ready for this, and then we got a result. But nah.
Do you think that's maybe hurt the feeling of this derby? Do you think that maybe subconsciously, not even just Celtic fans, but even Rangers fans have maybe accepted that at Parkhead this game could be a bit of a foregone conclusion? Do you think there's been maybe a bit of guilt of that happening?
Maybe, but after the way they were going on after they beat Ross County 6-0, I thought that went out the window last week. So, but no, I think that does flatten it a wee bit in the build up, especially because I feel there's not been as much fanfare around it. But I don't think MD's no looking forward to
of course not.
On their side anyway. But that's the kind of thing I don't like. I don't know if I prefer the whole thing has gone in as, I don't want to say underdogs, I know that we have been, but that way you feel that we're not in the best position, but we're going in a really good position against a team that, alright, they won 6-0 last week, have been struggling for performances up until last week, so I feel like the pressure is, obviously the pressure's on them to try and close the gap and make sure we don't go 5 clear, but the pressure's also on us because we're already hitting form at a very early part of the season. The onus is on us to keep that going.
Calum, I feel like that's such a huge part that we do need to acknowledge is it's the first derby of the season, and it does so much about setting the tone for the competition for the season ahead, and just generally the buzz on either side of the city. This is the game that sets that tone for the next 4 months until the next derby. So there is a job to do, and that can't be forgotten.
No, absolutely not. As I touched on previously, it does set that sort of that marker down a bit for the season, if you will. Like I said, you can even put it right down to come down to bragging rights of it, but it's solely, as you said, between now and then, obviously excluding cups wise and such, but obviously running it through until obviously the game that would come through in January. It is massive. For as much as we could say we go into it in the best of form, Kieran said about being underdogs, it's just, I don't know, between now and that whistle going in Sunday, I could be as confident as anything. As soon as the whistle goes, I'm like, right, nah, just go into a shell.
Aye. As soon as the deadline hits, and I think Friday night, it will be all eyes on. I think we're just so
Derby preview,
we're so occupied on transfers because we're leaving our business so late. Once again, I think things would have been vastly different if we had our business done by now. We'd all be like, right, derby. But Celtic aren't operating.
I think we'd have focused the first half of the derby preview show as being on the derby and not wait until after the half-time quiz, if that was the case.
This must be like, even as a podcast, this must be like the least we're ever going to preview an actual derby. Like usually it's a good half
to treat it the same way we treated last week. Team
picks itself. It does though. The team picks itself, doesn't it? Ryan, you've sat and listening to Kieran and Calum thus far. Listen, we've been playing some really good football. Obviously, you've not had the chance to be on the podcast and talk about the magnificent performances we've seen in pre-season and extended into the early season. Celtic are doing everything right to be considered favourites for this game, rightly considered as favourites, and you can't blame Celtic fans for getting that wee bit carried away.
Absolutely. I just think they're controlling the narrative in games early doors with these early goals that are being scored. They're not allowing any team whatsoever to settle, and I expect them to do the same against Rangers at the weekend. You look at Hibs, the 2 games against Hibs, early goals. You look at St Mirren, Kilmarnock, they're all early goals, which is brilliant. They're not allowing any team to settle whatsoever. They're immediately putting a team on the back foot.
That's I spoke about this at the weekend. That's huge compared to last season. We struggled to get a goal, and we'd get to 70, 80 minutes into a game and we'd be panicking.
Yeah.
So it's a massive change, and as you said, controlling the narrative of the game.
Yeah, it's so important because there's a game plan. They'll hear what the opposition's manager they'll hear what the managers had to say, and then within a couple of minutes that's all tore up because Celtic have struck and they need to change the game plan completely. Teams just cannot deal with Celtic at the moment. I've yet to see really a full 90-minute performance, but when we do, I think that they're going to take 7, 8, maybe even 9 goals off of somebody if they can maintain the levels that they show in those maybe 20, 25 minute spots. Not that I'm saying it's going to be against Rangers as much as that would be absolutely brilliant to see. I think later on in the season, once Kuhn is understanding when to give the ball to someone and when to shoot, even though he's got 6 goal contributions already this season, once Kyogo starts scoring, once Ida starts scoring, got to remember both of them haven't scored a competitive goal. They're coming up against arguably their favourite opponent in Rangers. They always got to go basically for their goal scoring.
He's in Belgium.
Guys, come on. I wasn't going to score against Rangers anyway.
Still didn't back him every time, man.
No, I'm just.
Don't be disrespectful.
Things are just very, very rosy at the moment. A couple more signings. Go into this game full of confidence. Brendan Rodgers will rally his troops, and yeah, I expect Celtic to win and win comfortably at the weekend.
Listen, I want to come on to this point, and I'll start with you, Kieran. We know that you like to be the.
Are you about to call me the pessimist?
The cautious. I'm not going to use pessimist. You're not a pessimist. You're cautious. You're the cautious fan. But I found Philippe Clement's comments last week very interesting. He said Rangers aren't going to park the bus. They're going to go for it after their 6-0 win. Now, we watched what Celtic done to Manchester City, what they done to Chelsea. 2 teams who were very much not park the bus teams. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but that does have the potential for Celtic to have their best league performance of the season because they like to play against teams who don't park the bus.
I mean, it suits us down to a T. We said that. I said that last season as well. I'm like, when we were actually struggling for good performances, the games against Rangers had been our best performances of the season purely because our style of football, under Rodgers especially, suits playing against opened up teams. It doesn't like try to break down these low blocks and complete park the bus teams. Whether or no that's all just mind games for Clement and us saying he's going to do that, but he comes out and he's got the opposite game plan. But it suits us. That's watching us in pre-season. You were watching it thinking this is a good practice for Europe because this is the way teams are going to set up. And you're not going to see much yet in the league where you're going to get a chance to play that free flowing, breaking on the counter. And you've seen how deadly Kuhn is with his pace and how clinical they were in pre-season against teams like Man City and Chelsea. So you can only hope for more of the same at the weekend. As you said, it's not exactly a foregone conclusion it's going to work just as well, but I think it's playing right into our ballpark.
Before we get into team predictions, once again, I have no idea how long we're into this show.
I'd guess about 45,
50 minutes.
But I definitely get into team predictions in a minute because before we get into that, I want to come to each of you and ask for who's going to be the key man this weekend. We're a Celtic team without Matt O'Reilly. A derby without Matt O'Reilly feels somewhat strange, but he's not going to be there. So who is the key man for you this weekend, Calum, in the Celtic side?
For me, it'll be Calum McGregor. He does it every game. He's always in these games against them. He's just in. He always gets sent in those perfect spaces. It's taking it from the centre backs in between their striker, that's supposed to be a 10, which is never there, and just taking it in the turning, giving it to the players to go forward. He's always so vital.
McGregor, Ryan?
I'd agree with what Calum's saying, but I'd also say Hatate. I don't think there's been a better time for Hatate to come into a Celtic Rangers game apart from the one in which he made his Glasgow Derby debut, and I just think he's in top form. That game against St Mirren, I'm actually just going to name the whole midfield, to be honest. I think Bernardo's going to be massive as well. It's a big moment for him. he'll know more than anybody else that there's a midfielder coming in that's likely going to try and take his spot in the team. I know Engels can play attacking mid, defensive mid, and in the number 8 position, but they're fluid. They can all play in different areas. He's got a point to prove at the weekend, that I'm not going to just roll over and allow my space to be taken by somebody by the record signing. The best way to go about that is to score again like he did in the December fixture. He's got it in him. He's had so many good impacts against Rangers, and I expect him to do the same on Sunday. I just think he's a big game player, and I'm delighted to see him back at the club, to be honest.
Kieran, you got one?
Rio Hatate was who I was going to go for. I mean, I fully understand Calum's point about him being it. I don't know if this is more me hoping this is Hatate's moment to stand up and be with that player he was in that first game, as McGinlay was talking about when he played against him, scored the 2 goals, set up Abada. So I would love to see him properly get in about it on Saturday, because I feel like times where we've played them in the past, he's maybe been allowed to be maybe overshadowed by the brutes that Rangers have had in the midfield. You talk about your John Lundstroms that are just out to try and flatten you instead of play any football. So I think this will be a good opportunity for him to hopefully get himself back in fighting form in these games. And I feel like I've seen a bit of criticism of Hatate this season as well online, and I feel like it would just be a good way to sort of nip that in the bud, because I just think that's mental.
Well, I'm going to go different, and I don't know if it's necessarily who I'm saying is the player to watch this weekend, but I just have a gut feeling. I just have a feeling it might be Alistair Johnson, who this weekend is the key player for Celtic. I have this vision in my head of him he was brilliant against Hibs. St Mirren at the weekend, and Hibs as well. Brilliant against Hibs, but he was brilliant against St Mirren. And I don't know, there's something about him that looks very hungry at the minute. I think he's enjoying this going forward. I don't think Rangers are strong on that left-hand side.
It'll be Yefty that's playing there. So, I think
Johnson,
Nicholas Kuhn as well, one-on-one.
I think that right-hand side for us could have a good day. So I'm just putting my neck in the line a wee bit, and I'm saying Johnson.
Would you go? You're about to say Yefty for a yellow card in this game?
Wouldn't you like to know, Kieran? No.
We should start a segment for these games, like Kieran's Cooking Corner. Where I'm telling you where my card bet's going to be for the weekend.
Save it for
so don't back it.
Save it for the exclusive content. Kieran's
when we get a gambling sponsorship, don't gamble. If you're under the age of 18, cover your ears. This is what I'm putting on.
So who would you put in Kieran's Cooking Corner this week, Kieran?
Well, you've really talked me into Jeffy now. Cal McGregor.
McGregor?
Aye.
Go on, McGregor.
I'm going to put 50 quid on this now.
We do not endorse gambling. Right, team selection now. A team picks itself, isn't it? Team picks itself. Right, I'm going to run through each position, and I'm going to say a name. If you agree, say aye. If you don't, say no.
Nay.
In goals, Scott B. Casper Schmeichel.
Yep.
Right back, Johnson.
Yep.
Centre backs, Vickers and Scales. Left back, Taylor.
Yep.
Midfield three, McGregor, Bernardo and Hatate. Front three, Kuhn, Kyogo, Maida.
Yep.
I think it has to be that.
Team picks itself, man.
There was that slight back injury that Nicholas Kuhn had, but it didn't stop him for that last half hour. He only had half an hour in him, but my God, that unique angle of Alistair Johnson's goal, once Kuhn has got the ball and he's dribbling at you, it's a blink and you'll miss it, because he's so quick with what he does with the ball. Like a player reborn, or maybe the player that we were signing has actually arrived at the club now. 9 kilos is a lot to lose for a guy that's quite slight as it is. But he looks as if he's gained it back, and gained it in muscle too. He doesn't get pushed off the ball or anything. That's because nobody can catch him, to be honest. But I just think that right-hand side could be so dangerous for Celtic this weekend. Johnson, you're going to get graft from Johnson. 90 minutes, he's going to just fly into challenges, win the ball. He was also a bit of a playmaker against St Mirren too. That the pass to Maeda for Hatate's goal, the second goal of the game, it's a bit of brilliance from Alistair Johnson. So it's shown he's picking up that role and really being a bit of a playmaker as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those two in the game.
Brilliant. Well, we'll be back to review derbies and all the rest of it at some point. Right, before we get into the Twitter Q&A, it's only half. You know what? It's only 8:30. When you think about what time we were here last week, you're used to. Fucking hell, that's actually not bad. Right, before we get to Twitter, well, any last thoughts in the derby? McGinlay just kind of gave his there, so any last... No, it's fine. Anybody got any last words? Calum?
Fighting man.
Kieran?
Last words?
Aye.
I thought you were going to execute.
Well, the man, see, you just looked in there. Guy with an AK-47.
You could actually do the fight and win chant because potentially three out of four
North
Celtic
Americans.
back line could be American or from the North American continent.
Right, Champions League draw is tonight at time of record. Upload.
I was going to say,
It's tonight. I'll be watching it from the great city Berlin. So I'll be behind. Don't spoil it because you're a nerd. Sorry. Sorry.
I was right over my head.
You'll get it.
Did you say you were behind?
Because I'm
You didn't know that.
start to 6 o'clock for me.
Christ up.
5 o'clock tomorrow night. Tonight, sorry. I've asked for quick fire answers from all of you, so I hope you have done your thinking. Well, you won't need to. You're set for things like this, McGinlay. I'm going to go through each question one at a time, and I'm going to go from Kieran along to Calum, and then I'll give my opinion at the end. That's why we're going so that direction. So, Kieran, one team you want to avoid?
Real Madrid. I don't want to taste that defeat again.
Simple as that. Just
Pure, the new
that.
breed Galacticos. No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm sick of these glamour ties.
Ryan, team you want to avoid?
Man City.
Man City. I knew you were going to say Man City. Ooh, Pep! I love you, Pep. Any reason?
Personal, man.
I fucking hate City and he knows it. He winds me up, he knows it gets to me.
Couldn't even do it like that, but I'm going to do it now from now on. That's it.
But no, why City?
Just because they're good. They're a really, really good team.
I know I asked that as if there's any further explanation.
Why City?
Why City?
Maybe the last time they're in it for a wee while, or a season if they get relegated.
Potentially. Calum, team you want to avoid?
Same as Kieran, Real Madrid. Just can't be asked for that. Scalping.
I was going to try and be quirky and outside the box and say somebody that wasn't Madrid, but come on. I mean, Mbappe, Hendrick, Rodrigo,
Bellingham. Okay, the team goes on, doesn't it?
Just give me a bye with that, please. One team that you want, Kieran, this one isn't tied into the next question, so team that you would want.
I know, but the only way I could answer it is, I mean, I didn't want to say a team I want an easy one, so I've put Inter or AC. Don't know. We played AC Milan Europa League during the COVID season. We never got to go. I mean, I know I've got another answer for the next question, but that's my reason.
Right, okay. McGinlay.
Team I want.
Can be part keyed away, doesn't it? Just because the next question is more to do with like accessible.
trips.
Aye. So just team you'd like to maybe see us play.
Brest or Sturmgratz.
Just
We might win them.
Somebody done the.
But then again, Brest have got Abdallah Sima, and I don't want to see him again. So yeah, winnable ties, please.
Okay, Calum.
I don't know. I think Milan would be good, but that's more because of the next question as well.
Aye.
Kind of ties in. Shakhtar Donetsk. I want revenge. I want to win this time.
Okay, smart. I went down a different route entirely. I could have went for one of the easy teams. I've actually gone for a more difficult team, and I want Arsenal because I want to beat them because I can't stand them and I can't stand Arteta. And I'd love to see him great.
I would want them at home, but
I would like Arsenal at home to see Arteta cry, even though they'd probably beat us. But I'd love to see him cry.
you're sitting 4-1-2 with binoculars.
Exactly. So I'm saying Arsenal. Right, away trip that you want, Kieran. Is it the same answer?
No, I've actually put Shakhtar for this because they're playing in Gelsenkirchen and it's a very good stadium in Schalke, and they're also playing in a different country. We should get a ticket for that. So I'm thinking logical here.
Okay, Ryan.
Not Bodo Glimt, that's for sure. They're playing at the moment.
You're talking to a man. There's a man beside you who's dying to go to Bodo.
Aye.
I want to go to Svalbard. That's where I want to go.
I'm having a wee look through the. I'm going to say Brugge. I'm going to say Club Brugge because
We love Colin Farrell's.
Yeah, I want to go up that too.
You're going to get anywhere near the Bastard.
Spoiler alert.
What?
You're going to get anywhere near the Bastard.
You would be the press, wouldn't you? But we wouldn't get.
Yeah, I might be going to.
So you'd probably be all right. So Bruges, that's an interesting one. I like that. Calum.
Again, it kind of echoes with Kieran's, but outside that, Stuttgart. Like to go and see another bit of Germany.
Yes, love that. That would be cool. Don't know what the ticket chances would be, but
That or somebody like Sporting.
Again, I was
Yeah.
just about to say
I
that.
think
kinda-
I'd try to get Benfica.
I think it'd be more chance, surely.
No transfer ticket, but just so you're in Lisbon.
Nice.
I know.
Away trip that I'd want is probably, I think you've stole my answer. I think I was going to say Lisbon as well. Milan's up there, of course. I'm going to say Benfica. I'm going to say Benfica for mine. And then this one's a wee bit more niche than team. I just thought I'd ask it so we could have a bit of chat. One player you want to avoid in the Champions League this year?
Mine's is Haaland, because I said I wanted to avoid Real Madrid. I thought it was a given. I didn't want any of their players, so I don't want to be on the receiving end of a Haaland hat-trick, double hat-trick. I don't want any part of it. So
Fair enough, Ryan.
The good thing is I don't need to say Matt O'Reilly here because he didn't go to Atalanta. What player do I want to avoid? I'm going to go with Real Madrid. I'm going to go with Mbappe
Mbappe.
because he's done us before.
he was like 17 at the time.
Calum.
Again, I think it kind of goes hand in hand with Kieran's. You don't want to go down the Real Madrid route again, but again, it's Haaland, really, isn't it? Haaland or De Bruyne pulls you apart. It's ridiculous the passes he finds.
Similar to the passes that they can find and also the goals they can score, I'm actually going with one of my favourites, if not my favourite player in the world at the minute, Florian Wirtz. I do not want Celtic to go up against him at the minute. I think that he's arguably one of the top 5 best players in form in the continent at the minute. He's still, I mean, I've seen him at the weekend, he was unbelievable. I do not want to go up against that. And the last time we played him, he done pretty well, and once again, he was about 19 at the time. He's only getting better. So.
I was actually close to putting Leverkusen as my team that I wanted to avoid. Because I was
Do you know what's even worse about Leverkusen? Even if we were getting a glimmer of a chance of getting a result, they'd score in the 90th fucking minute.
I know, you need to literally be about 4 goals up against them, and even then you're thinking we're going to draw this game somehow.
And
So-
subject to a trip, but I'm gutted Karabag took a pace snaff at Dinamo Zagreb, man. I would still go to Zagreb.
You just want all these lovely...
I want to go to
obscure
the most obscure one, furthest away. I need to do 3 transfers in the middle of fuck no.
So do I, to be fair. I would love that.
Can I add another player that I want to avoid?
Yes, go.
I'm going to go Man City route, Rodri.
Yeah.
He's,
Yeah. He's the highest rated player in FIFA this year.
I was going to say that, deservedly so as well.
Good player.
I like to see that. You know, a defensive midfielder, so important.
Nice. Okay.
It was actually something else.
On you go.
This
No,
is what
no
this is
shouting.
the perils of doing a live podcast.
Uh-huh.
Alvin Sanchez is back on the Celtic. radar,
wow,
transfer agenda.
wow.
Mark Mark Hendry is saying that.
Right.
So now the Celtic way have actually spoke to his agent, and we know that Celtic are interested in him. They're keeping tabs
I remember
on
I seen the story.
him.
Aye.
Yeah, Tony spoke to his agent, but I thought there was going to be a number 2, and Ian Boggett's, when that fell through, or when Celtic ended in the negotiations. But now it seems as if they're back in. There's Mark Hendry tweeting again. Let me just bring this up. This might be out of date by the time this comes out. But
Just go for it, Ryan.
Celtic were close to a deal for Sanchez before they opted to turn attentions to Paulo Bernardo. They see him as a talented young player who can go to the top. Brendan Rodgers likes him. So he's a Rodgers signing. That's what you want to see. Everybody, that was what Raymond Vega was saying. Tony was also speaking to him, Swiss, former Celtic player. Said, everybody's talking about this player in Switzerland. This guy's like the next big thing. I'd be quite happy with that.
Listen, I'll get behind any signing. I've spoke about him on the channel a couple of times. Listen, if it is what it is, it is.
What sort of fees being touted for?
Well, originally it was maybe about 3 million.
4 million.
See, I feel like that might also be easier to manage in terms of expectations of players' actual game time and things. See, if you sign one for £11 million, one for £8 million, I think that creates a bit of
Aye, I know, because now you've got somebody who's like maybe not going to have that full expectation. I mean,
like I need to come in and be the starter sort of thing. So, well, I mean, at least we've got something waiting in the sidelines, positive signs,
Thanks, Ryan. That was handy, very handy.
I know it's a bit like up and down with the whole
This
the order of the show and that, but I felt like
if you weren't here, we'd be already talking about food. So.
How's the Billy Bear meat, Ryan?
I'm on a diet, mate. So
Oh, are you?
it's
Well,
it's not great.
gonna be-
I'm on the water, as you can see. Only allowed 1 can of Monster a day now, so
Oh, wow.
that's like my coffee. And and that'll keep me going for the rest of the day. But
Well, fair enough. We're going to do the Q&A and then finish up. If there was a way we could have done this live this week, it would have probably been smarter with all the developments going on, but that is what it is. Right, Kieran, what you reckon we're in now? You've been trying to figure it out somehow.
That's probably 55 minutes.
That's
I
not
honestly
too
have
bad.
no idea. I've lost all.
Guessing.
I've been guessing.
I feel like I'm in a casino or something.
I
I've
know.
lost all concept of time. Is
Can't-
time a thing?
Time is nothing. Right, Q&A time. First comes from Shay, who gives us a lovely Photoshop. Don't know if you've seen this, Ryan. To Ryan McGinlay. Oh, it's not even a Photoshop, it's just a
I
real
have
thing.
seen this.
You traded immortality for mediocrity, never a sell, always a fraud.
Literally right about Celtic. That's my joke.
You can still
How
use
can I
it.
trade it? Is it just this podcast?
We are the creme de la creme, famously. I wish.
I think we're out of date, creme darker.
Passed its sale by a long time ago. Right, Matthew, who we actually featured this question on TikTok today. We've got to start trying to get more of the Q&A questions up in the TikTok. Matthew was the debut one. He's back in. He's saying, keep 2, lose 1. Your options. Get all necessary signings over the line. Get the easiest... Oh, right, okay, I see. Right, so keep 2, lose 1. Your options. Get all necessary signings over the line. Get the easiest Champions League draw. And beat Rangers on Sunday. You can only pick 2. The one you will drop will have the opposite effect, i.e. no more signings, hardest UCL draw, and losing to Rangers.
That is a very good question.
That's a cracker for Matthew, by the way. A belter. Who wants to kick us off?
I honestly,
Yeah, I want
I'm
to
stumped
write
by that because all of that sounds fucking horrific if it's flipped. So
So is it you have to pick one of those things, sorry? Or
You get to keep 2. So you can get the easiest Champions League draw and beat Rangers. That means that you get no more signings. Or you can get signings, easiest Champions League draw, but means you lose to Rangers.
okay.
I'm
I
going to
think I've got mine.
I'm going to be controversial. I'm taking the loss to Rangers.
really,
I'm taking the loss to Rangers. I can't take.
I
the
think
loss to
I think
Rangers.
I'm just gonna beat Rangers and get all the signings in because I've already
Do you know
resigned
what?
myself to the fact we
That's
get the
what I'm
hardest
thinking as
fucking
well. I was
Do you know
Champions
the
League.
way that I'm looking at it though? I don't think losing to Rangers would be the end of your season, but I think we'd still
No.
win the league.
I know, but it wouldn't be the end of the season. But imagine the shift in mentality. and,
No,
like,
I'm
the
talking
fallout
shit.
for
I take
that.
it back.
Could you really be fucked dealing with that in the
pish.
comments of your videos?
No, I know. Big
I
abuse.
genuinely, I'm resigned to the fact we will get the hardest possible Champions League draw imaginable. So, and I've been mentally prepared for that all my life.
Right,
so
okay, you're taking the hardest draw. You taking the hardest draw?
Yeah.
You taking the hardest draw?
Has to be.
Well, I'm taking the... No, I didn't say it about losing to Rangers.
Ryan my money once has beat over
Views. No, I'm joking. Never in a million years. Hello, look who's back. It's Phil Smith. Phil
I seen him,
Smith.
mate.
Hello. Don't open with that on Derby weekend. It was going to apply with a new member of the podcast. The wife was not having it. Had coffee with an old friend with connections on Tuesday. Kyogo's head has been turned. Get rid. Solution 4-4-2 on Sunday. My identity did a pair up top. Phil's prediction 0-0. Fucking love this guy, honest to God.
You play 4-4-2 and you get a nothing each.
At least he's aware of his tactical setup.
Phil, God bless you. Hope you're doing well. Matthew, is McGinlay making a Lawwell-like return to pull the strings from behind the scenes?
I've always pulled the strings. They just don't know it. I'm kidding on. I'll try and make my appearances sporadic but consistently sporadic.
He's the chairman of the show. Chairman Mao.
Chairman Lamo. I always loved that account.
I know.
man.
I miss
That-
it. Ben the Tim.
Yep.
Legend. Cal, as always, is in saying now that he does here full time, Kyogo won't have to play as much as he did last season. Do you think giving him more of a rest will lead to him getting goals back? I'll start with you, Cal.
Yeah. I wouldn't really think so. Almost sort of the fact he's less game time to get said goals. If that's the route he's going to go down, I think it should still consistently be the starting then striker. I think you should feel any need for him to drop out unless through injury or such.
Okay. 9.
I think they'll pick and choose what striker to play in each game. So, for example, a Kelly away, you play Adamida because that suits him more. A more physical game, you're going to play Adamida. Or most games at Celtic Park, I would expect Kyogo to start, to be honest, because that's just his game. That's what he likes. He likes having the open grass and running into space. I thought he looked quite sharp when he came on against St Mirren. was unlucky not to score. It was a good save by the St Mirren goalkeeper, but it's a horses for courses, to be honest. They for different pitches and different situations, different players will play. But if you can just spread out the goals between the two of them, I'll be quite happy. I'm not expecting one of them to have 40, the other one to have like 6 or something like that. If they both have 15 to 20, plus the midfielders, plus the wingers, then there'll be no problems.
Kieran, struggled to say your name there.
Who? I agree with both points that have been made there, but I do think Kyogo is as Calum said, the starting man. They will pick and choose, but for me, when you think about it, Kyogo's starting the games against Rangers, he's starting the Champions League games. He's your main man. Like, as much as I'm happy we got Adamida, until he can dethrone Kyogo, it's his position.
Adam with the big question: do you ever buy multiple kebab pies, set them so they're in the shape of a cross, and kneel in front of them and pray before a big game?
See, I haven't, but now that I've had that suggestion, I'm going to end up with kebab pie on my knee on Sunday.
See that grass.
Would it be criminal to eat a kebab pie at like 12?
No, absolutely
I
not.
think there's a time.
Fine, I'll have 6 then.
Kebab pie, breakfast, lunch and dinner. He's also said McGinlay can answer the same question, but replace the pies with ready salted, as he's a ready salted merchant.
I'm a ready salted merchant, that's true.
Is that part of the diet?
1 packet a day, yeah.
Fucking hell, is it one a day?
Yeah, just aye. To be fair, I did have Space Raiders the other day, so I was changing up a wee bit.
Nice.
And I do like barbecue hula hoops as well.
I do like them.
I'm a man of culture. I'm also a man of versatility. I'm trying to be a wee bit more
What
versatile.
culture is that?
I don't know.
Have lays instead of walkers.
Yeah, either way, if you know, you know.
This is. Have we ever answered this? Feel free to answer as well as you like. Bernardo boy, favourite song from the songbook? Anything, Wolf Tones, whatever. I mean, if you want to answer PG, you can answer.
Think about it to say mine, so I'm going to come up with another answer.
I feel like I've consigned to mine being Kinky Boots. I feel like that's the one. I love Kinky Boots. That's mine.
I don't know, you can't be a bit of Viva La Quinta Brigada.
That's a good one.
Beautiful song.
You can't see yours.
Nah, let bite my tongue on that one.
The 5th. The We Are the Best Team in Glasgow one. I love that.
Right,
I
okay.
didn't like it at the start. I think maybe because I only listened to the Green Brigade version that they put out and people were slamming it. But when you hear that at the games, it's brilliant. And when you hear it, I like the Hatati song as well.
I'm a fan of Johnny Mac and the Faithful. And I think we're overlooking Scott Brown. He's the leader of the Celtic.
It's truly lyrically unmatched.
That honestly is a mood killer, that song. I remember being at Scott Brown's testimonial and I bet he was thinking, fucking...
Well, you seen his thoughts on it, didn't you?
Shut up.
Live on camera. Sorry, Johnny. Don't make me harsh.
Sorry, the Faithful.
Donald asked, with the departures of centre backs, do you think that our main target to sign? Do you think that's our main target this week? And do you think another position should be targeted before the window closes? We've kind of covered transfers. Yes.
I like a wee surprise signing though.
Yeah.
Just at the end. You know,
Do you remember that year that Frimpong came in? It was just out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, see, I feel it was quite...
That was the same.
I remember being in Tesco and coming off my break and I was like, when did this happen?
Remember it was like Lee O'Connor, Frimpong and Unicy all at the same time.
And it was Leo Connor that was the one that was more highly rated than Frimpong.
Man United's academy captain.
And then you seen Frimpong in his first game, you're like, oh my god, you can see why he's been fast tracked.
Kirsten asks, if you could build a 5-a-side team with the current squad, who are you taking? Oh god. Well,
Schmeichel, Carter Vickers. You need McGregor being the workhorse, didn't you?
Maida.
Aye, just for
Maida.
sprinting. And then
I'd take Big Ida.
Aye, for 5s. I feel like Kyogo wouldn't have that space in soccer world to make his runs. You just need a bit of brute force sometimes.
If you're in the sort of cages, I mean, one nudge to Kyogo on that shoulder, and the cage out, big time. He'd be in goal. See, Kasper Schmeichel's playing up front.
He's going to stay off. That's a good 5. I think that's a decent 5. By the way, Kieran, well done. Nathan, hi McGinlay.
Hi, Nathan.
I've missed
This
asking.
isn't my brother.
No, Nathan Green. Hi,
that's
McGinlay. I've missed asking you food questions. Just want to know what's your opinion on a plain ham sandwich with no butter.
No butter. I would need to have butter on it. Some Lurpak on it.
You're a Lurpak man. I'm a Lurpak man.
It's expensive, but you know you get what you pay for.
We're a Northpack family.
See, we go back and forth between Northpack and Lurpak, to be fair. I think it depends on how much is in there.
Does that depend how many views you get that month on YouTube?
Back to Northpack soon.
I can just see that Robin Hood meme with the please song.
You're having a
Need some
Lurpak summer,
Lurpak.
man, but it's going to be a Northpack winter one.
Remember when it had security tags on it? Lurpak. It's crazy.
People
Sign of the
asking about
times.
the new member. As was touched on that at the start of the show. It's touched on Alex Bally as well. Take it into the David Turnbull asking. It always makes me laugh when I see David Turnbull.
Not getting his game for Cardiff at the moment.
Taking into account the current squad situation, what one player from the past would you like to play the derby and why?
What?
Like
past
any
player to come
player
back.
like for this one game,
For this one game,
would you pick a midfielder?
Jimmy
Because
Johnson.
Henry Larson.
Aye. I mean, you can just go beige like that.
Um,
I'm trying to think of like
what we need.
Virgil
Virgil van Dijk.
I was thinking that.
Aye,
Yeah.
it's empty. Replace skills. I'd take Glenn Loovens, man.
Scored a header. Chris Ayer as well, to be fair.
Big Chris Ayer, that's right.
So he can celebrate when he makes a clearance.
Ideal to we've done that ideal away trip. Thanks for the question though. Pass my goodwill on to McGinlay, says Regan.
Thank you. Don't know what's
Oh, here's a good food question. If you like your crisp, I can just see McGinley saying he doesn't like any three of these. It's coming. Calum, rank them: squares, discos, frazzles.
In that order.
Is that
Quite literally in that order, aye.
I love a packet of squares. I think they are just next level.
Same.
Don't want to get squares.
Oh yes,
Ready salted squares are good.
Not sure.
Packet of them.
So, what would you put? Do you like discos and frazzles though?
Never had them. I've only had
Discos
squares,
are-
but I felt like I could contribute to that. I was happy. My face lit up.
Can I get a ready salted frazzle, son?
Kieran, what would you rank them in?
I just get a great wee text message there from my mum saying sneaky wee mini fish supper waiting for you. Absolute result by the
Ready
way.
salted frazzles.
Hot the vinegar, man.
Just salt.
I'm
I
gonna.
won't be back.
I'm gonna break the mold. I'm gonna put discos ahead of squares. And that salt vinegar discos, man. They might have flavour on them.
Every time I think of discos, I think of that meme of the
Aye.
guy holding up the
Some
poppadom.
size
It's
of
a
disco.
massive disco.
And then I do like a frazzle, but possibly up there will be the worst aftertaste that any crisp ever created.
Yep.
Little knickknacks.
Were you going to say something that you laugh at?
Just I'm talking about red and salted frazzles.
That's an idea. It's a venture.
I would go.
If you're there, I'm there.
I would do the same as Calum. I would say the same. Guess this works for three people with journalism degrees on the couch. If you could interview one person in history, who would it be? I mean, I'll ask everybody, not just the journalism graduates. I'll ask.
I know, it was pure discriminatory.
No, I'm just saying,
Us
it's a
three
very,
and Calum.
Sorry, I want to view the bin man. It comes on Tuesday. It's fine.
Shut up.
See how we get
Have a think. I'll start with Kieran. I feel like you would have an answer to this.
I could say like a Celtic one. Like,
But you could be a
Do
thing.
one
I know,
Celtic,
but
one
I'll
non-Celtic.
do a Celtic one so I can then
Aye,
think
okay,
about.
right,
I would
Celtic
love to just interview Bertie Auld. Like, just the amount of stories you would
Aye,
get. Out of him.
I think that would be.
I feel like that would be the most enjoyable. You could.
That would have been an absolute honour if we could have had him in like the podcast. Put it that way. But
I think he would have done it too as well.
I generally reckon if there was ever an opportunity, if it was maybe this existed and we were the same age, it could have been a thing. But Bertie would have been absolutely up there. I think Henrik's obviously up there as well, isn't he? But
I'm trying to think
any
of-
person ever. Do you have a thought, Cam?
For doing one football and one non. Don't know. Paul McStay. Been my shoot for a Celtic one.
Nice. Don't see him doing much media either.
Yeah. He's he keeps himself to himself.
That's I think
Lives
it
in
was
Australia,
quite
so
good.
Because there's that story about Rio Ferdinand meeting Paul McStay as well at a Man United training camp in Australia.
Right.
he's got a couple of businesses over in Australia.
Good man.
Himself, but very much a Celtic legend.
I think if I was to go non-football, if it's any person, I think, listen, people that know me well. I'm wearing the shirt of the man that I'd want to interview right now. I'm CM Punk, Phil Brooks, Pepsi Phil. That would be mine. That would be my one person. So there's mine, non-football.
I think my football one would be Brendan Rodgers. I'd
Aye,
love a
same.
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 Just because if you're looking for a TikTok or a clip or something, like
You're going viral.
Rodgers, I don't need to ask you anything. Just say what you think, say what you see, say what you think. Non-football one, I think Chris Eubank would be quite fascinating.
Okay.
I'm looking at this for like the money,
The
potential.
clippability.
Yeah, the
You're
clippability.
thinking search engine optimization.
SEO.
There's a couple of names, but
Could heavy see you saying like Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson.
Aye.
Nah, if it was like an actor or something, I'd maybe go down the route of like Adam Sandler.
Alright.
But I quite like Adam Sandler.
Aye.
But there was one I had made that escaped me there.
Sorry, I put you off by saying Rainn Wilson probably.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
Trick.
Who, Rainn Wilson?
Him or not.
Have you thought of one, Calum, on football?
Okay, I mean, that's come back a good few years ago when they done one, but it's back when on goal actually used to be enjoyable when it was the original sci-fi meets with Gordon Smart. Some of the stories he had with the likes of like Kasabian, obviously on topic, you know, with Oasis, with Nolan and such. Some of the stories are fantastic. So I'd love to get another sort of couple of stories of guys, hundreds.
Guess you could say the Gallicers after.
Guys,
If it's been on topic.
guys, be honest. Was that the biggest comeback this week?
Who are they pricks?
At least there's one of me.
No, right, we'll battle through 3 more questions. God, we got a lot again this week, by the way. Let's watch out for my channel tonight. There's a video coming and it'll be handy for people that want to ask questions and want more questions. If you could, who will be first in line for the Oasis tickets? Who'll be first in line? I think everybody's going to be in line, isn't they?
Mm-hmm.
If I was to guess anybody, it would be this man, though. Sitting here, he's been dying for this moment. Thoughts on Todd Cantwell doing the Paradise Windfall on Sunday?
Knee sliding in front the away end that should be Rangers fan.
I think he would get a better reception than Santa did against Hearts, to be honest. I actually think he'd get cheered.
Oh, I've got a good one to end it off on. Somebody saying, am I going to Germany to get Arnie Engels? Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Must be some size of hand luggage you've got.
Right, Arnie, in you go. Somebody also asking me, do I think there's still time for Treidich in the window? I think we could. I think Vigi Treidich, possible.
I did hear about this.
You did hear. It's a big story. Vigi Treidich, Ryan. Clip that.
Clip that.
Mum, get the camera.
And then finally, to end off the Q&A segment for today, because we need to answer this because I love this. I'm waiting on Ryan saying he's never seen any of them because it's just the way things go. It's Liam, your biggest fan, who says, hello Kieran, I'm also a blinds man, respect. Just wondering if you could, well, he's actually only asked you to rank these, but I want everybody to do it. Rank these movies, please. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End.
I think I'll go Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, World's End. But World's End, I used to, upon first watching, didn't really like it, but I heavy like it now.
Yeah. Ryan?
Not seen any of them.
I knew it.
Is this the Cornetto trilogy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to check them out.
I could put my life savings on that there. I knew it.
I've got so much, but this is the thing, I've got so much to watch and so much to try.
They're free, you need to watch though.
Like, I need to have a ready salted, what's the crisp?
Frazzles.
A ready salted frazzle while watching Shaun of the Dead.
What's your free?
Only because I watched it more recently. Shaun of the Dead,
Right.
Hot Fuzz, World's End. But I know fine well, if I go home and watch Hot Fuzz tonight, I'll go right back to the
Right,
start.
top.
They do
I
always
feel like
change.
they're interchangeable.
Aye. I've always been a Hot Fuzz guy at number one though. I'm with you, Kieran. I just love Hot Fuzz. I think it was also the first I watched of the three, so it's always had a wee bit more a nostalgic kick to it. But I love everything about Hot Fuzz. The quotability of Hot Fuzz is unlike the lines, the dialogue. It's fucking amazing.
Was Hot Fuzz the one that...
Hot Fuzz is the one that's set
the
in
police?
Aye.
Is that the one that the Fratelli song was in? Or the Fratelli song...
Yes.
Baby Fratelli?
I
I can see the video. I think
sure
it's
it
one.
is. I'm sure it is.
That's something that's been lost.
The Fratellis.
Well, yeah, I mean, apart from their Yes Sir I Can Boogie in 2021, which was pretty good. Movie songs. I know there's still some, but remember they used to be out every single one. There used to be like Hero by Chad Kroeger for Spider-Man 1, etc.
Aye.
Pharrell Williams went hard with.
Pharrell Williams just turns it on for every
Have you
Despicable
seen his
Me film.
biopic? It's coming out.
Oh,
It's
see
in
again, man, I
Lego.
know. Oh, aye,
It's
that's
all
right.
in Lego.
Aye.
It's really-
Every dick's getting a biopic, aren't they?
When's the Celtic Thunder?
4 different points of view.
Is that the new Beatles film getting made?
Christ. Right, let's do it. Full-time quiz to finish off the episode and get us up the road so I can get packed. Oh, not packed. But so I can edit. Don't smash that. I've already broke one thing in here tonight. I need to get fucking make sure I don't break anything else. Right, Calum, are you hosting?
Yeah, sure,
Right, it's
indeed.
a freeway.
Fair enough. Looks I'm the cameraman. No, so this one. I know. So this one, obviously, we have got a freeway quiz. So obviously, as Ryan said, it won't really go towards the scoreboard and such. Essentially, just an exhibition quiz, if you will. So it starts off with Kieran giving us absolutely died and slept because of work. So tonight's took about 10 minutes to make all 3 players with 5 similar questions. If it's a shocker, then blame McGinlay. Welcome back.
Kieran.
The blame.
Take the blame happily. I'm not here next week.
So how are we going to work this?
So, Kieran, you won last week.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like set 1, 2 or 3?
Oh no, so it's like
Oh,
so it's 5 questions, but there's 3 like per so they're the same theme.
But then is it no like still like is it so somebody would get the first one in every round?
Aye, no, so you can do it like that if you want. Aye, just
Aye. Well, there you go.
I'll go second one every round.
Set 1 every round. Ryan, you're returning. Do you like set 2 or 3 in every round?
Set 3.
So I'm in the middle.
yeah. So I'm going
Okay.
right, left, middle. So Kieran, I'll start us off here. Question 1: which Scottish team has the nickname the Suns?
That's
I'm assuming that's Sunsby. I know we don't get much fucking.
no.
S-O-N-S.
I feel like
Giants team.
I feel like I should know this, but
Phoenix. It's Phoenix, man.
Queen of the South.
It is not. It is Dumbarton.
Yeah.
I would
Aye,
not
okay.
guess
It
that.
should be the elephants, though. They've got an elephant.
Aye.
So the second question, can I across to yourself, Ryan? Which Scottish team has the nickname the Loons?
Oh, I remember hearing this before, and I actually can't think. The Loons.
So obviously it's going to be like the same theme of question, but
Mm-hmm.
2 different ones.
I don't want to sit and take up all night trying to remember. This came up in Talk Scottish Football one time, and I was like, the Loons, aye. I'm just going to go for Edinburgh City.
It is Forfar. So McGinlay, to start us off on the points, we can take a 1-0 lead here. Which Scottish team has the nickname the Beanos?
Beanos, Clyde.
It is
Stirling
Stirling Albion.
That's what it is.
So at the end of the first round, it's
Same
donuts
colours.
all round.
Red and white.
So Kieran starts off on round 2. This is for which Scottish team played their home games at their park. Which Scottish teams played their home games at Ainsley Park?
This is a fucking disaster. Ainsley Park.
Yes.
Do you know, it's funny. Somebody said to you in that last one.
I know.
It's like fair play. Sure,
Yeah.
like fans don't usually know it.
I hope you're not watching this time, pal. Ainsley Park. Montrose.
It's a team of recent success. It's Spartans. Ryan, coming across yourself, my left for question 2. Which Scottish team plays their home games at Starks Park?
Oh shit! Is that no Rafe?
It is indeed Rafe Rovers. Ryan gets us off the board here for 1-0.
Bloody
And
Spartans.
McGinley, see if you and McGinley, if you can level us up here. Which Scottish team play their home games at New Dundas Park?
New Dundas Park. I thought New Douglas Park was going to be there. I was like, yes, I know that. I'm trying to think of a team that I've not. East Fife.
It is Bonnyrigg Rose. So Ryan takes a 1-0
Two
lead.
Edinburgh teams there.
And here we come into round 3. Kieran, which summer transfer has had this recent career path? Fluminense to Porto to Bournemouth.
Oh,
Evan Nielsen.
It is indeed. Kieran gets yourself in on the points.
well done. For somebody that doesn't like football.
I watched the Bournemouth game at the weekend. Then get your shoes.
Kieran's keeping watch or Kieran's keeping corner.
So Ryan, can I trust yourself to see if you can take a 2-point lead here? Well, 1, but going up by 2. Which summer transfer has had this recent career path? You have OB to Newcastle to Brighton.
Who just went from Newcastle to Brighton? Oh, Minta.
It is indeed.
That's the one I said. Yeah, sounds like.
He was at Newcastle.
Aye, do you know that? They had to sell him because of the financial fair play and all that jazz. They had to sell him and Elliot Anderson. Watch out, Elliot Anderson be the next answer. But
You hear man Kieran in a chewing gum. Minta.
for Minta.
Wondering where they got him from. I thought it was maybe Salzburg or something.
Next season, Minta. That's who I want the left wing.
Oh, Jesus. McGinlay, to get your first point on the board here. Which summer transfer has had this recent career path? Swansea to Crystal Palace to Leicester.
Jordan Ayew.
As
Did he go
indeed
Leicester? Aye.
signed the other day there. So that is everybody, what, a 2-1-1? Yep, 2-1-1 run from left to right. Run into round 4. This is a Champions League question, all round. Kieran, how many times have Manchester United won the Champions League?
Come on now.
3.
It is indeed. Well done, Kieran. So
68, 99 and 08.
It's just going to become
Wembley, Barcelona and Moscow.
That's too good.
Next Tuesday.
Ryan.
That's the less problematic Andrew Tate.
Ryan, see if you can take yourself under 3 points here. How many times have Milan won
So glad I
the
wasn't
Champions League?
7.
It is indeed.
Oh my god.
Takes
Here we
yourself
go, here's
1 to
nonsense
3
coming.
points here. And
Last Madrid.
How many
times
Barca,
have
I'm with
Celtic-
Barca. Watch this.
McGinlay, how many times have Barcelona won the Champions League?
6.
I think it was as much as I thought it was 4.
It is 5.
Oh,
In the middle of this 2 years there.
Close.
5.
So it's between me and Kieran then.
It is indeed. So Kieran,
I need
take
to keep it
yourself
alive.
in on this one, on question 5. This round is famous commentary lines within Celtic.
Oh.
So, Kieran, your commentary line is, do you think you'd be able to, no, it's too much time. Do you think you'd be able to clip them, just whack it in? So I don't
Probably
think
be
I'm
able to.
a-
Aye.
Too much action, that.
Always get
The
Berlin
math.
tomorrow.
I'll do the impression though.
So, Kieran, your question is, Celtic are ahead for the first time and with 10 men. Keep your distance as a message from Celtic.
I know it.
I can actually get it in my head.
I wasn't going to attempt an impression there, and I thought,
Keep your distance.
That's quite good.
aye.
What have I to say this for is
So this is like the game itself. Also, I don't need the scorer or such. I need the game.
Right. Can I get it one more time, sorry?
Yeah, no, you're fine. I wouldn't be with an impression, however. So it's Celtic are ahead for the first time and with 10 men. Keep your distance is a message from Celtic.
Might drawn a complete blank here. I think I might need to just forfeit the quiz.
Which means I win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What a horrible, horrible faith.
I want to give him a clue as well. But
Oh, he's fucked it.
It's an important game.
It's
I
a
know,
big game.
I know it is. I'll
you
kick
bashing?
myself. I'm going to have to because we'll be here all night.
Wow. It is the 3-2, isn't it?
Edward.
it's the 3-2
Edward,
with
aye.
Edward. I was going to
Keep
say.
your
Because
distance.
they went up it.
Keep your
Aye.
distance,
Aye.
Rangers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I win. Hey. Anyway.
Indeed, and I will finish it off there. Ryan, your line was, which famous Celtic game had the commentary line, Celtic Park is going crazy for the Champions League? And I would require the scorer from you in this one also, just to be a dick.
Okay.
It's going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be a qualifier, surely. Is it? Because why would they say that in a line for a normal league game?
In the Champions League.
Going crazy in the champion. Or it could. Oh, so the line is they're going crazy
Celtic Park is going crazy for the Champions League.
for the Champions League. 4 makes me think it's a qualifier. I'm trying to think of dramatic qualifying. I don't know. Fucking Hapoel Beersheva.
It was Celtic 3, Shakhtar Karaganda
No,
nil,
that-
with brackets,
that's what I
big
thought it
game,
No,
Forest.
I think I should be let away because I didn't actually watch the telly that night. I was at the game, so I wouldn't have heard the commentary.
Neither, but I would
went
have.
back to watch the highlights.
Because it's one of the games that's that old that you can never find it with commentary. It's always like just the crowd. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever heard the
Or
commentary.
the Celtic
I know.
DVD.
Anyway,
He's still running.
I've won it anyway, but Guy McGinlay
Fine.
has.
And McGinlay, to round us off, which famous Celtic line had the commentary line of, "Isn't that just typical? What a way to win the title."
Isn't that just typical?
My balls are pulsating. Celtic are champions.
It must be Nakamura v Kilmarnock.
It is indeed Nakamura's
He's
free
scored
kick.
another free kick.
And,
Charles did.
Paul Malone, mate. The greatest.
and just for the shits and gigs of it, the tiebreaker question, including this season, how many seasons has the European Cup been going on for?
Started in what, 1956, I want to say. So I'm going to say...
I've took a fun.
I'm going to say 68 years.
Is it how many seasons?
Yep. So including this season,
I'll say
How many
68
seasons?
seasons.
we have 68 from Ryan.
69.
7.
Kieran Auld would have took it at 70.
Oh, is
He would have got closest to there.
Fair
Would have
play.
took it on there.
It was good.
Well, for an exhibition, that was fun. And that's us. Better wrap up. It's actually went fucking longer than I thought, didn't we? Ryan, thanks for coming back, mate. I hope
Absolute
I hope you
pleasure.
enjoyed. And we'll hopefully see you, I don't know, next derby or something. Since see when the next one is. As you said, sporadically consistent.
Yeah, consistently sporadic
Aye,
is the way to go. But thank you to everybody that was asking for me when I wasn't on the shows as well. I really do appreciate it. Loved the farewell show that I had. Loved the wee plaque that I got as well. Thank you to everybody for the nice messages that were on the bottom of that as well. Yeah, it's been good fun. I've really enjoyed being back. It's like I've never left. It's natural. It's normal. I like it.
New setup and all that still. But Kieran, thanks again.
Pleasure as always being on.
A while. And Calum, thank you.
That was a pleasure. Never a chore. Another way about whatever way it goes.
Always a chore, never a pleasure. Right, like and subscribe, all that jazz. We'll see you next time. Cheerio.